Yo, peace everybody. Peace guys. Goddess, I didn't cut my hair. I just put it back today. Chilling vibe. In a chilling vibe. Just outside real quick, and this is just something that I feel like I should share with you all because it's current events. Today's a very interesting day. Today is the beginning of Gemini season, and I've had some pretty interesting conversations. First thing I want to talk about is something I'm going through with someone that's close to me. A couple people that are actually close to me. And, they're at a bit of odds with each other. And, my advice to them is, as they deal with each other, to try to love and understand and listen. Art of conversation, the art of communication is when you go into a conversation to heal, you listen. You go in to listen. When you go in a conversation to fight or to argue, you go in trying to make your points. You have your points. You can make your points. All right. But I always advocate for people to at least try to heal. And this person I'm dealing with is very spiritual. And the people who she's dealing with are not as spiritual. So when it comes to self-reflecting, when it comes to these psychological terms like projecting and things like that, the other party's not very aware of what they're doing and how they're coming off to this spiritual person. Maybe you're the spiritual person. Maybe you have this going on. Maybe you're trying to alchemize your situation into something really good, really nice. But for whatever reason, the people you're dealing with aren't able to receive what you're saying. They can't even hear what you're saying. Maybe they're not self-reflecting, and so they're projecting onto you the things that they're actually working on and that they struggle with in their lives, and they're making you the problem. This is my advice, is that this is general advice for anyone to take, not anyone with any specific energy or any specific journey. I recommend that you let go of trying to get people to understand you, and let go of trying to get people to see things the way you want them to see them. Because the reality is, the people you're dealing with can be narcissistic. The people you're dealing with can be toxic. The people you're dealing with can have low values. The reality is that there's a lot of people out there that are even worse than that, worse than the people that you're dealing with. And when you can look at the situation as a test to yourself to elevate and to push yourself into a new situation, or to live more in alignment with what you know to be true, you can actually benefit from these situations a lot. But in order to do so, you're going to have to let go of trying to control the outcome. The best thing that you can do is to reclaim your energy, and instead of focusing on them and what they're saying to you and how they're wrong, try to focus more on your purpose. You see, when you're so heavy in your purpose, when you're putting in work on you so much, when you're focused on your eating habits, your sleeping habits, your working out habits, your practices, your meditations, your work, your hobbies, your passions, whatever they are, when you focus on those things, those things require your energy. I can't sit here and have an argument with somebody and want them to see things how I see them, and they just won't at all. And then my whole day is ruined energetically. And now when I go into the studio to make music, I could try to alchemize that into a lesson or into a song. But the reality is I'm no longer focused on my purpose. I'm focused on them. I'm focused on what they think. I'm focused on what they're doing. Recall all of your energy possible. And the best way to handle these situations, I'm not saying to avoid them or to run from them, but to refocus. Just refocus. People are allowed to have their opinions. People are allowed to think how they want to think. People are allowed to grow. People are allowed to be stagnant. That's up to them. But what do you want to do? If you allow yourself to be distracted by people's misunderstandings of you, misinterpretations of you, well, you're donating so much energy to that situation and to those people, that if you would just take it back, you could be happy. You can find peace, and you can find pleasure in your purpose. Here's an example. A lot of people in my life did not and do not believe in me and my dreams, even when they say they do. They actually just want me to live how they want me to live, and they actually want me to live what they know and how they're comfortable. They couldn't tell me how to possibly chase my dreams because they haven't done that. They don't do that. They're more conforming to society. They're more of living by the status quo, where I'm quite the opposite of that. So what I do is I say, okay, I listen, I understand, and I say, well, okay, so I just learn more about who they are through someone insulting me, through someone saying negative things about me. It doesn't tell me who I am. It tells me how they think. It tells me what they focus on. And I accept that, and I'd be like, okay, that's you. That's how you are. That's how you think. That's what you're focused on. Okay, cool. You're focused on the negative qualities of me. All right, I understand that about you. That's enough. Right there, that's enough. I don't need to go into changing how they think. I don't need to go into changing how they view me. The people who are growing and the people who are elevating in this life and the people who are working to do better for themselves are going to do that anyway. They're going to want to see the best in everyone around them. They're going to want to see the best in themselves. They're going to want to see how they can help and heal situations, starting by helping and healing themselves. If they have no interest in helping or healing themselves, I'm sorry to tell you, but you might be wasting your time trying to help and heal them. There's a saying I go by, and it's that I'm the only soul to save. And I say that because I can try to change everyone around me, but no one owes me anything. No one has to work on me for me. Nobody has to get up on time for me. Nobody has to work out for me. Nobody has to eat for me. Nobody has to make sure that my dreams come true for me. That's something that I have to do. So if I'm giving my energy to people who don't see that in me, who don't see that in themselves, you know, it's time to recall that energy, time to claim that energy and realize that the universe puts you in a situation so that you can learn things and see things, and take it as an opportunity to learn. Take it as an opportunity to expand how you think and accept the negativity, not as in owning it as it's who you are, as if it's true, but accept it as if that's how they are. That's how people might see you, or that's how people might think about you. But that doesn't mean that's how you have to think about you. And it doesn't mean that now you have to go thinking negative thoughts about them, walking around all day, man, they're toxic, they're narcissists, they're this, they're that. That's going to do nobody any good, especially you. It's going to do you harm. There's another saying that they say is that anger is a punishment you give to yourself for other people's actions. So I highly recommend that you reclaim your energy and you find your peace, you find your purpose, and stay focused on your purpose. When you stay focused on your purpose, like, if I'm going to go in the house right now and work on my animation projects, work on my music projects, you know, or just relax or just enjoy myself, go make a smoothie, listen to music, do some dancing or something, you know. And if I want to go and do that, and then somebody comes in and says, let's say there's this specter, there's this person just sitting there watching like, oh, that song sucks. Oh, your dance moves are no good. Oh, I don't like your music choices. Oh, I don't like that type of food. I can either choose to augment my life and augment what I'm doing to make them happy, or I can continue to do what I know is best for me. I can continue to walk in my purpose. I can continue to make myself happy, because nobody's job is to make you happy. Nobody's job is to make you comfortable. So that's the harsh reality, but the truth is that you have so much more power than you may allow yourself to have sometimes. And you don't want to give that away to people just because they have opinions, just because they're close to you. A lot of this happens with family members, you know, and some people you're in relationships where your partner is doing this. I recommend you learn how to be alone. You learn how to do these things for yourself alone. And as you do these things and you play the music you like, you eat the food you like, you dance the way you dance, you know, people who also enjoy those same things will show up. Events and situations that are connected to what the authentic you really does enjoy will arrive. You know, this person, let's say they are in a close proximity to these other people. Well, all that they've learned was that, you know what, I got comfortable in a place where I'm not celebrated. I got comfortable in a place where I'm settling. I got comfortable in a place where I have to be something I'm not to make the people around me happy. Maybe that means it's time for a change. Maybe that means that it's time to start thinking about, instead of just staying in this situation and continuously trying to alchemize it into what you want, maybe you need to alchemize your own energy and your own focuses and your own direction into a direction that is more beneficial to you, and maybe into focusing on something that's going to get you out of these situations or into a new living situation that might be more helpful to you or more conducive to you. If you spend all this time being a fake person to make the people around you happy, you're going to be missing out on the people that you're meant to connect with in this life, that connect with you in your purpose, that listen to the music you listen to, that love what you love, that dance how you dance. And this is why it's important to dance to the beat of your own drum, because being authentic is the highest vibration. Love is important. Love is good, yes, but self-love is the most important. And when you're authentic with yourself, and then you say, I love you to somebody, that's real. Whereas when you're being fake to yourself and you're being fake to them just so everybody can smile in the name of love, that's okay. You know, you're keeping the peace, you're harmonizing, but you're inauthentic to yourself. So the peace and the destruction is within you. So it's very important, and I just want to say this to you all, is to stay authentic to yourself. Acknowledge your feelings, acknowledge your purpose, and if you don't have a direction, well, yeah, you're going to be thrown in all kind of different directions. If you don't have your own vision for yourself, when other people project their visions onto you, you're going to feel like you have to accomplish those things. You know, you're going to feel like you're a failure in their eyes because you can't do what they want you to do or what they consider to be successful if you don't have your own vision of success, if you don't have your own understanding of who you are and what you've come here to do and what you love to do. So yes, you have to love yourself first. Become authentic. Love shows up in a form of allowing somebody to be negative. Somebody wants to be negative, somebody sees things in a negative way. Loving them is to understand that's how they are, that's who they are, that's where they are in their journey. And changing them is God's job. That's not your job. That's not my job. You might change and influence people through your purpose and through being you and through loving yourself and letting that love overflow. Allow people to be who they are. Sometimes those people aren't going to be negative. Sometimes those people are going to love you. Learn how to receive that love from the people who celebrate you. Learn how to be around the people who celebrate you. Learn how to be around the people who promote you for who you really are. There's this other saying is that when you want something and you want to manifest something, the whole universe conspires to help you get it. And sometimes being pushed out of a situation, pushed out of a relationship, pushed out of a friendship, pushed out of, living quarters, living situations, sometimes those are in your best benefit. Because if you can stay true to yourself, you can attract situations and harmonize with situations that are meant for you, that will amplify what you do. If you're an artist and everyone around you tells you to turn the music down or turn the music off, maybe you're in the wrong area. Maybe you need to go to somewhere where they tell you to turn it up. Maybe you need to go somewhere to where they're like, hey, create that stuff again that you do. It's so amazing. I love the vibe. I met these spiritual people the other day, and they told me that they didn't want me to be there because of how their spiritual beliefs were versus mine. And they're like telling me, oh, your chakras are off, or this and that, this and that, this and that, because I'm like, wait, I'm allowed to be who I am. I'm allowed to do what I want. They're like, oh, see, look, he's arguing. Look, he's vibing low. I'm like, you know what? I'm good. I'm just going to leave. You're right. I don't belong here. I'm not celebrated here. I don't belong here. And when I left, I'm like, dang, all the opportunities connected with that are gone too. But I'm like, wait, that's not a loss. That's a gain. Because what would I have looked like trying to fit in and be comfortable and be liked by people who don't like me and don't like what I do and don't like what I like? This is now a chance for me to recalibrate and redirect to go to somewhere where I am celebrated, where people do like what I like, where I can be me around other people being themselves, and it works. They don't have to be fake around me. I don't have to be fake around them. So sometimes it's in your benefit to release those relationships. Sometimes it's in your benefit to release those situations and those connections. Sometimes it's working for you. You got to be able to see with a different pair of eyes. Maybe it might not be the best survival situation in the moment, but we're not here to survive. We're here to thrive. We're not here to stay stagnant. We're here to evolve and to grow. So sometimes you might have to let them go so you can receive what's really for you. All right, start flowing with the universe and stop resisting it. Start allowing things. Allow people to be who they are, but start by allowing yourself to be who you are. All right, y'all. I love you. Soular Moray. You know what time it is. We out here in sunny San Diego, California. Okay. Hey, hold it down, but keep it up. Peace to the queens, the kings, the gods, and the goddesses. You got this. Stay authentic.